questions for Corey Goode on Sphere Alliance and Solar Warden Space Program, May 11, 2015. Q1. You have previously described the Solar Warden Space Program as largely responsible for maintaining security in the solar system. Why is the Sphere Alliance helping Solar Warden change the power structure on Earth, which has been dominated by a cabal, Illuminati-running governments from behind the scene? The Sphere Alliance has been mostly focused on the energetic changes occurring in our local star cluster because of the area of the galaxy they are entering. They have been using the many thousands of cloaked spheres that are equidistantly spread out across our Sol system and neighboring Sol systems, electrically connected in the cosmic web and natural portal system, to buffer and diffuse incoming tsunami waves of highly charged energy that change the vibratory state of space, time, energy and matter to cause it to raise to a higher state in the density spectrum. This energetic change has a direct effect on not only every planet and star in the region but also every life form below a certain vibratory level. This can cause extreme swings in the way beings behave. Lower vibrational, or negative beings, will become more reactionary and their behavior towards their current polarity will be enhanced. Beings that are higher vibrational, or positive, loving beings, will begin to have those qualities enhanced. Beings of both polarities will need some sort of guidance offered by beings that have been through this process so that they can make the decisions to continue to raise their vibrations to match the changing background energetic changes or chose to remain in their current state of lower vibration and self-destruct. The Sphere Alliance happened to choose the SSP Alliance, that was not just the Solar Warden group, because they had made a conscious decision to bring the end of the control and slavery of Earth humans by trickster gods who were custodian aliens and their worshippers, followers whom we have lumped under an umbrella name such as the Cabal, Illuminati. The SSP Alliance had decided that it was time to give every human on the planet access to their full and true history, suppress technologies that would lengthen and enhance their lives as well as collapse the world financial debt slave systems, aka Babylonian money magic slave system. This put the SSP Alliance in a greater percentage service to others category than any other group in our Sol system that was made up of Earth humans fighting for the freedom of Earth humans. They definitely had their drawbacks, being warriors who were looking to use violence to obtain the desired freedom. The Sphere Alliance is a non-violent group and there has been quite a lot of adjustments for the SSP Alliance to make, as well as some mistakes, in the process of developing a workable partnership with a group of 6th through 9th density beings that have a completely different way of doing things. Q2. Please describe some of the advanced technology given to Solar Warden to offset the prior technological advantage held by the Cabal, Illuminati forces on Earth opposed to full disclosure. The Sphere Alliance has set up 2 energy barriers that cannot be penetrated by any beings or technology, be they 3/4D or 4/5D beings. One is the outer barrier which completely closes off the entire Sol system, including gate, portal travel, from travel into or out of the system. The other is a barrier that surrounds the Earth. It keeps every being in craft, technology that was either on Earth or in near-Earth orbit from leaving a certain distance from the planet. There are active gates, portals that allow travel between planets within the Sol system. However, those portals are affected by these energetic tsunami waves at times and regular travel is ill-advised and can be dangerous. The technology provided directly to the SSP Alliance has all been of a defensive nature. It allows the Alliance to disrupt weapons systems, cloaking systems and highly shielded vessels and locations from various types of high-energy beam and torsion field weapons. Torsion weapons that rip apart buildings or craft by twisting the space-time fabric that the structure exists in at the moment, causing the targeted structure to rip apart, etc. Q3. Why did Solar Warden allow itself to be technologically leapfrogged by the Cabal, Illuminati if it was the first secret program to deploy advanced vehicles in space? Solar Warden was in no position to not allow itself to be left behind technologically any more than any other military-type operation that has become aged and began to be replaced by other programs that were funded and provided the newer technologies. Solar Warden went through several upgrades of their vessels, but as long as the vessels were serviceable and capable of performing their mission, they were not receiving replacement vessels that were the newer technologies that ended up going to the other SSPs. Since the stealth civil war began and they became allies with the Sphere Alliance, there have been groups from the other SSPs that have defected, bringing with them some of the newer vessels and offensive technologies. The SSP Alliance fleet is now a mixture of vessels and personnel from several SSPs. Q4. Please describe how Solar Warden uses metal expanding technology given to it by the Sphere Alliance to disable more advanced weapons systems controlled by the Cabal, Illuminati on Earth. This technology is actually an older tech that was developed by US some time ago. It causes some metals to expand and magnetize, making the needed moving parts not capable of moving. This works well against kinetic energy weapons like firearms and missiles. It can also cause malfunctions in conventional aircraft and have other practical uses. This has been around for quite some time but has not been used so widely to prevent assassinations and certain attacks until the Alliance started doing so, when they were urged more and more to find non-violent ways to achieve the results they used to achieve through other means by the Sphere Alliance. Q5. Russia's President Putin is allegedly aligned with and supported by the Solar Warden, Sphere Alliance. Why is Putin and the Russian Federation more supportive of full disclosure? Putin and other elements of the Earth-based alliance that make up the BRICS alliance, among others that dovetail together, are all working for the common goal of defeating the satanic, Luciferian cabal that is now in control of the majority of the world and responsible for not only amazing deceptions of his and other countries' populations but also some of the most horrific crimes against humanity that have ever taken place in known history. There are many of these crimes that have become more and more known through recent disclosures behind the scenes. This has only caused these groups and people to want to bring down these secret Earth government syndicates now more than ever. Unfortunately, some of the Earth-based alliance wants to put into place another financial debt slave system to replace the old one. This is going to be something that is heavily negotiated in the near future. The East has stated that the West has had its 100 years. Now the East deserves its 100 years. This is referring to the giant financial Ponzi scheme set in place by the Federal Reserve System. Q6. Has President Putin met with the Blue Avians, Sphere Alliance? If so, did this happen during his recent disappearance for 10 days? The timing of his 10-day disappearance occurred exactly during the time of the SSP Alliance, Sphere Alliance conference that was taking place on the Luck, along with many Earth politicians, non-cabal, and regular Earth citizens. I did not personally see him, or have I been briefed that he was there. I was not involved in that portion of the conference. I do strongly suspect that he or his representatives were present. Q7. On April 12, 2014, the USS Donald Cook, equipped with an Aegis combat system, was allegedly disabled by a Russian Su-24 tactical bomber deploying a sophisticated electronic jamming system. Was this an example of the kind of technological assistance given to Solar Warden and its Earth allies to change the military, political balance of power on Earth? I have been told this is the case by several SSP Alliance members, but I have not seen any briefing reports personally to be able to vouch for that 100% myself. Other insiders have reported this as well, so it is probably a safe speculation. Q8. On March 12, President Obama claimed on Jimmy Kimmel Live that his hands are tied on the disclosure issue by extraterrestrials themselves. Was Obama encouraged to make this statement as a form of soft disclosure? I heard that he did this as a way to plant a seed and control the narrative a little, but he was reprimanded for doing this joke set up on his show. I have only heard second-hand information about this incident and cannot give direct knowledge. I do believe, as David Wilcock stated, that many a truth is given in jest. The side he serves on is indeed subservient to some alien groups that they sold us out to many decades ago. If you notice also the timing, this too was also during the exact time of the SSP Alliance, Sphere Alliance conferences at the Luck and Putin's missing time. My question is, do you believe in that much of a coincidence? Q9. Has President Obama met with Blue Avian, Sphere Alliance at any secret meetings prior to his March 12 statement? Absolutely not, and these elite groups are enraged by not being recognized by the Sphere Alliance. The Blue Avians, Sphere Alliance refuses to directly meet with any Cabal-linked persons or groups. They will not meet directly with the Illuminati. This is why they have had representatives or delegates attend various Federation meetings for them, as well as meet with various committees that represent these secret Earth government syndicates. Q10. Lockheed Martin, Northrop Grumman, and Boeing are some of the major aerospace companies allegedly involved with secretly developing anti-gravity space vehicles. Please describe how these and other companies are involved with the Interplanetary Corporate Conglomerate, ICC, space program. They have board members who either retire or rotate off the corporate boards and then join the ICC SSP super boards, to where they work as super conglomerates and make decisions involving the companies they represent. It is a certain elite among the corporate structure that ever knows anything about the ICC. Often they will work with the companies for a couple of decades and not know anything about the larger activities in the Sol system until they are asked to join or serve on a super board or other position. Q11. Why did the ICC decide to ally itself with Solar Warden and the Sphere Alliance, rather than continue to work with the Cabal, Illuminati, who are generally thought to own and exercise great power over major corporations? The ICC has not joined the SSP Alliance. Only some cells or groups have broken away and defected to the SSP Alliance in recent months. This has been a blessing and a curse. This ended up causing some major ethical struggles inside the Alliance, as well as 2 atrocities that were very upsetting to many. It involved 2 attacks based on actionable intelligence provided by some defectors and ended up having a very high rate of collateral damage of innocent lives. This caught up to the SSP Alliance recently karma-wise and ended up in the attack on some of the Alliance personnel involved in the atrocities. This was very recent and a part of this past weekend's meetings. Q12. Please describe how Solar Warden is enforcing a planetary quarantine to prevent assistance being given to the Cabal, Illuminati on Earth, as the latter's advanced weapons systems and bases are being systematically disabled, destroyed. Mostly any ships that try to flee have ran into the energy barrier around the Earth and bounced back through the atmosphere with a fiery light show. The SSP Alliance has been taking out many Star Wars/SDI aerospace-based weapons, which have also been seen entering the atmosphere in like fashion. There are also a lot of recent skirmishes between different Cabal factions, since they have realized that their royal white reptilians have tried to negotiate their safe passage out of the Sol system by giving up all of their Illuminati, Cabal followers, as well as their lower caste reptilian and other allied races in their federation. There is chaos among these groups who are following the example of their masters and turning on each other. Though they are heavily denying this publicly and putting their most clever disinformation agents out to control the narrative as best they can. Q13. Previously, you have described 5 secret space programs, 2 of which mainly operate outside of our solar system, a NATO-type SSP and a Dark Fleet. Are these latter 2 still subject to a solar system-wide quarantine by the Sphere Alliance from returning to our solar system? Yes, there have been several petitions for the NATO-type SSP group to return, as well as to allow some innocent alien, ET groups who are here on peaceful scientific missions to leave. All requests have been denied and the outer barrier will be maintained until after the event and everyone has answered for their parts in what has gone on in the Sol system over the last however many thousands of years that they have decided, grand cycle etc. Q14. In an April conference presentation in San Francisco, David Wilcock described a timetable with 2017 as the year by which full disclosure is going to happen. What can you tell us about any timetable the Sphere Alliance, Solar Warden has to disclose the truth to the world public? I have not seen this timetable or date anywhere or been given in any briefings personally. There were multiple time windows that were put forth that were all listed between the 2018 to 2023 time frame in various programs. However, this was prior to the Sphere Alliance and many other things that seemed to be pushing the time frame forward. It is getting more and more difficult for them to maintain this illusion that we live in down on the planet with all of the energetic changes in the mass consciousness. I think putting out a date is a bad idea myself. But it could very well be 2017. As fast as things are moving, it could very well be 2015-2016 as well. The sphere beings have put it all on us, and when we decide to wake up and expand our consciousness to the point to where we realize its co-creative power. Once we do, we can make things happen on our own timetable. Q15. Are there white hats within the NSA secretly coordinating with whistleblowers such as Edward Snowden to disclose the truth about extraterrestrial life and secret space programs? Yes. Any further info would be dangerous to the few white hats that are in various positions surrounded by black hats. Anyone that thinks Snowden pulled off that data grab on his own is very much misinformed or ignorant of how information security worked back then as well as it does now. Q16. Is there currently a disclosure race happening between the Cabal, Illuminati and the Solar Warden, Sphere Alliance in terms of how much information should be released and how this frames key issues? Yes, when full disclosure occurs it will also come with the disclosure of massive crimes against humanity that will send the bulk of society into shock for some time. The fact that there are aliens will not be as disruptive or shocking as what all the elites have done in secret during the time they were hiding the existence of aliens and most of all the high technology that would have ended the financial system decades ago. If the Cabal, Illuminati can control the disclosure, they can also control the narrative and spin of disclosure they think to make themselves come out looking better in the end. They had planned on being off-planet when all this info broke. Now that they are stuck here with everyone else, they are all turning on each other and spinning and cutting deals as fast as they can. They know what the population will call for if there's full and unfettered disclosure of our true history along with the release of suppressed technologies and the existence of alien life. They must do everything they can to control the narrative and manner that this information is disclosed. This is a much more complicated situation than most realize. Complete disclosure is going to leave many of the world's population calling for heads to roll. Q17. Do you think that the 2016 president elections might be a forum by which disclosure happens through individuals such as John Podesta and Hillary Clinton who have been involved in prior disclosure events by the Clinton and Obama administrations? No, no political races or outcomes will lead to any type of disclosure. Q18. Is Pope Francis playing a strong behind-the-scenes role in disclosing the truth about extraterrestrial life? Is he involved in any capacity with the current meetings with Blue Avians? The Vatican is lumped in with the secret Earth governments and are not being recognized or permitted audiences with the sphere beings. They have been rotating in as delegates in the human-like ET Federation that has been mentioned. Q19. It has been claimed that President Obama cannot take any action in revealing the truth about extraterrestrial life, until the Vatican has done so. Is the planned meeting between President Obama and Pope Francis on September 23 significant for extraterrestrial disclosure? They may decide as a part of the process of doing a controlled disclosure to control the narrative to allow the Vatican to release some information. I am very doubtful. There are many scandals of so many groups that they are trying to keep in Pandora's box when they crack it open to allow the disclosure of alien life to be known. They may very well be deciding how exactly they are going to control the narrative and how to let out information about alien life and suppress technology without letting out the full information about their crimes and scandals. That would be a difficult meeting and problem to try to figure out on their end. Q20. In your most recent update, you say that you met with Blue Avian, Sphere Alliance extraterrestrials over the weekend of May 9 to 10. Can you describe who else attended this meeting and where it was held? It was just myself and the Blue Avian named Tyr. It was a one-on-one meeting to discuss some of the recent issues with the SSP Alliance, some of the recent energetic tsunami waves and their effects on the population as well as some upcoming meetings that I am going to be asked to attend. More info here. Thank you for the questions. I am no longer doing postings or questions and answers on the One Truth forum. To have a more controlled and civil environment, we are now going to be doing all questions and answers previously done in internet forums on the Sphere Being Alliance website. We will also be doing all future updates, articles, disclosures and data releases on the same website. We are also configuring a newsletter for anyone who would like to sign up to be notified of updates. If not already, you should be able to register for newsletters on the homepage shortly. Things have moved to a whole new level, with the upcoming release of articles by researchers I respect and trust enough to engage with, video interviews to be released free on YouTube, along with a free ebook, discussion of a disclosure series on GayIMTV.com with David Wilcock, and planned Skype interviews with researchers as well as well-known online web show hosts. Creating a newsletter to keep people informed seemed to be an important and natural next step.